jumps, and everything.
He says the turns, the jumps, everything. That's a pretty good answer, dude. Who would you like to thank for getting you up here, man? That's a cool bike, by the way. Who's your sponsors?
My mom, my dad, my mechanic, Dan Callahan MX School, TTG, Scott, FMF, and all my sponsors.
Woohoo! Let's hear it, folks. Your gold medal winner, Kevin DeFino. Yeah, he's got those missing front teeth. The big teeth are coming in, man. You're going to be an adult before you know it, dude. You'll be in that plus 25 class in just a few years. That's Kevin DeFino. Now we're going to bring up our second place finisher. Come on up here, Ryder Skadras. Ryder Skadras. Where? All right, Ryder. Man, there's a lot of people here cheering for you, man. You know that? Who are those people?
My mom, my dad, my sister, my uncle.
Could you hear them whenever you were riding around that racetrack?
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet you could, man. They're a loud bunch right there. All right, buddy. What was your favorite part about that race out there?
That, I got a good start.
I got a good start. Well, that's awesome, dude. Would you like to thank some of your sponsors, Ryder?
Scott, Robs, Brady from Ogio, and my mom, my dad, my uncle, and my grandma and grandpa.
Awesome, man. Let's make some noise one more time for Ryder Skadras. Man, that's a bunch of dudes right there. Good job, buddy. Get out of here, Ryder. Good job. He's got second place. Now we're going to say hello to our third place finisher, Mr. Landon Ballou. Where are you at, buddy? Billu. Okay, man. Thanks for fixing me up. He goes, hey, dude, get my name right. It's Landon Billu. Look at that smile. Look at that cheese-looking grin right there. That's awesome. All right, Landon, you set me straight on that name. Now set me straight on your race. How did you get third place, dude? That's awesome.
I just tried.
You just tried really hard. You got some good sponsors you want to thank?
My mom, my dad, God, Mimi, Papa, and anyone I forgot.
All right, let him hear it one more time for Landon Billu. Awesome work, buddy. He set me straight right out of the back.
Are you done down there, Kevin? I believe
Nope.
so.
We got one more. We got
more.
the whole shot award. That's 8 different podiums, ladies and gentlemen. I'm doing work down here. Oh, man. All right, buddy. Let's say hello to this young man right here. Put your hands together for the Bell Helmets Whole Shot Award winner. Are you nervous? Heck no. He's got a big old smile. What's your name, dude?
Kenton Richards.
Kenton Richards. All right, let's hold that up nice and high. I just hit you in the head with that sign, didn't I? Hold that up above your head. That is right. That's Kenton Richards, and I just whacked him in the head with that sign, so don't sue us, okay? I'm going to give that to your dad. You got the Bell Helmets Whole Shot Award winner. Kenton, I'm sorry, buddy. We're going to go see the folks at the ambulance after this. Dude, good race out there. You got the whole shot. How'd that feel? Was it awesome?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got $100. What you going to do with that? You going to go to Disney World?
Yeah.
No, you're not. You're going to go buy a Bell helmet with that. You got some sponsors you want to thank?
My mom, dad, my brother, Big K, Coben, Gage, Nene, Mama, Brody, Giga.
All right, let him hear it one more time. It's Kenton Richards with the whole shot. And, Rodney, we got a lot of racing going on. Catch us up, buddy. Nice.
Yeah, we certainly do, man. We got a barn burner up front going on right now. Max Miller and Max Bolin battling it out up front. Finally, Max Miller around Maximus Bolin. We got Brandon Walther back in the number 3 spot. Joshua Varize in the number 4 spot. Dylan Swartz, the Moto 1 winner. He rounds out the top 5. But this one has been pretty much a barn burner, Chelsea, since the drop of the gate on this one.
Yeah, Rodney Kimball Jet actually grabbed that $100 Bell Helmets Whole Shot Award, but it didn't take long for him to fall back, unfortunately, because the duos of the Maxes up in the front just quickly vaulted up there.
Yeah, and actually he's finding even more problems as the second lap, they rolled through the second lap. Kimball Jett has dropped back to the number 16 position. Max Miller, the 64, who has taken over the lead, actually posting up the fastest lap on that last time around at a 2:13.7. Max Volan now in the number 2 spot. Walther is third. Dylan Swartz up to fourth. He was your Moto 1 winner with Josh Varese now rounding out the top 5. And I have to think that right now the 74 Swartz is not done at this point.
Yeah, Rodney, you have to keep in mind they're facing some of the toughest track conditions. We've had rain today, we've had sun today, we've had a little bit of everything. And now shadows are coming into the factor. Most of the track is shaded, but you do have that occasional sun glare that's coming into play as well.
A very good point about the shadows, especially here late in the day. You see the sun already down below the trees over there, so those shadows, as low as it is, casting long out there, and that can be a little bit deceiving for these guys. But one thing about it is the riders seem to be adapting okay in and out of those spots. The reason I think it's not as big a deal is because we are seeing it more behind the trees now, so it's not as intense on these riders.
Yeah, I think the main thing right now is just going to be those ruts that developed from where it was so muddy earlier. They've got kind of ruts going every which way. The track crew has done a really good job trying to get the track to the best condition, and it's pretty amazing how fast it dried out. But just with this many riders on a track in one day, it definitely takes its toll on it.
It certainly does, and right now we're looking at mini senior 1, 12 to 13-year-old class rolling through this one, and the battle is now on for what looks like the third place position. Is Swartz, your Moto 1 winner, if I'm not mistaken, is now knocking on the door for third place of Brandon Walther. And as they wrap up lap number 3, we'll see just exactly how close things have gotten here as Swartz actually gets around and now starts to open up the lead by about 1.1 seconds. Actually, it's now about 3.1 seconds over Brandon Walther. That's how quick things can change. 2.5 seconds behind Volan. Now, they're turning nearly identical lap times, but now that Swartz is out of those battles for the third and fourth place positions, you got to wonder, is he going to be able to reel in Maximus Volan?
Yeah, I definitely think we should keep an eye on him, especially if he got that first Moto win. He's definitely got a championship on his mind, and these kids are at the age that they're going to do anything to get that championship. They want to win, and they want it bad. Yeah,
at the 50s, they may not realize what they're actually here for at this level. They have realized it, and look at this. They're riding like they realize it right now, as a matter of fact, as Swartz now trying to better his position out here on the racetrack as he gets by yet another rider, I believe, as actually that's the 68 of Brandon Walther, I think, is doing some battle out there also. So, I mean, we got not only Dylan Swartz who's trying to work up through the pack, but we've got several other riders that are battling back there. Look there, we see in the number 5 spot, Joshua Varese. Shane Gola is 6th aboard the number 24. We've got 7th, that's 51 of Jace Kessler. Caden Amarine is 8th aboard the 32. Braden Bruce in 9th aboard the 23. And Michael LaCour rounds out the top 10. There's Crockett Myers back in 12th. Nathaniel Thrasher is 11th. We're seeing a lot of familiar names out here. Kimball Jett, who got the whole shot, he's all the way back in 15th. But, man, a lot of changes, Chelsea, in this moto. And I anticipate there could be more before the checkers fly on this one.
Yeah, I think another rider to definitely keep an eye on is Crockett Myers. He took that Moto win earlier. I can't remember the exact class. It might have been Super Mini. But he knows what the speed that it takes to win, and he's definitely going to start pushing through the pack.
No doubt about that. Myers knowing what it takes, and the 72 machine back in the 12th place position, so he's got to start pushing and pushing hard at this particular point. Now Max Miller 4 laps in, 2:15. The lap nearly 6 seconds, almost 7.5 seconds ahead of Maximus Volan now, as we're 0.6 of a second back to Dylan Swartz. Here's the race right here coming on.
Oh, look at this move. Holy cow, digging right in there, going to the outside, using the power, trying to keep that momentum going. Look at this, back to the inside, trying to square him up. Holy cow, at number 17, Maximus Volan trying to get it done right there. Inside out, squared him up, then kind of checked up, wasn't able to make the pass.
So now we see Dylan Swartz has moved into the number 2 spot. He sees now about an 8-second gap up to Max Miller, and the question becomes, do we have the time, if he's got the speed, to reach Max Miller. You look at the lap times right now, Miller turning his fastest at a 2:13.4. He's been running consistently right there in the 2:15 range. Dylan Swartz also been running consistently in the 2:15 range, but that's been in some traffic. Max Volan, though, has been running in the 2:17 range, so that's why we see that Swartz coming up with a head full of steam. I don't even know if Volan realized that Swartz was coming that hard and fast, to be honest with you.
Are you saying we're somewhere around the 9-minute mark?
I believe that's exactly where we are, yes.
So I tell you, once again, quick math in my head makes it look like it's going to be really close, but what's going to make the determining factor is going to be how you're going to be able to translate that ground speed through the traffic. You know, what the actual time is going to show at the end of the lap.
Well, we are going to find out, certainly for sure, here soon, I would assume.
Yeah, it seems as if 20-minute motos, sometimes there's time for stuff to happen, but as soon as you take those 5 minutes off and make it a 15-minute moto, you're cutting it short on time.
You are, and the face of the race really changes. I mean, there's so much that happens in 5 minutes of time. I mean, it translates into 2 to 3 laps or whatever the case may be, but so many things can happen in that amount of time. And whenever you lessen the time, you lessen the chances of opportunity.
Yeah.
So I like the longer motos because I like more opportunities to shake things up out there. But I also like how these guys have to ride so much more intense, knowing that they have less time to get the work done in.
Yeah, and everybody knows that going in. It's clear exactly what's happening. So these guys right now, every lap truly counts. No pacing yourself, no holding back, no running, at three-quarter speed. You have to get out there, take advantage of it, because as Chelsea said, 5 minutes, a lot of time. As you said, 2.5 laps.
Yeah, and that means quite a bit out here for these kids, and a lot of things, like I say, a lot of time can be made up on the racetrack. I mean, if you got a rider that's running 5 seconds a lap faster than another, that gives him a chance to make up a whole lot more real estate out there. We are 5 laps into this one now at about 2:15 lap time, so that puts us at 10, 11 and a half, pushing 12 minutes now into this moto. These are 15-minute motos, so we got a lap or 2 left to go in this one. Max white flag is out, so we got a lap to go in this one, it looks like. Max Miller, Dylan Swartz, 9.8 seconds separating those two. I don't think that Swartz is going to be able to close that gap for the win, but if we start doing the math here, Chelsea, what place was it that we saw the 64 Max Miller get in Moto 1? He got an 8th place position finish, so an 8-1. That's certainly bettering his opportunities, but at the same time, when you look at the 74 machine with that 1-2 situation, man, that makes that second place position not seem so bad in the end.
No question. But what's impressing me right now, the number 17, Maximus Volan, still riding this thing wide open in that 3rd position. You got the camera on him right now, trying to make up some time, trying to pick up a position. Last lap of the evening right now, and the intensity level still 110%. But I can ask you guys a question. All 3 of us stood there on that deck this morning. Did you ever imagine that this is what we'd be looking at this evening when that rain was coming down at 7:30, quarter to 8 this morning? 2.5, 3 inches of standing water in between some of these jumps. You imagine we'd be looking at this tonight?
No, the track crew has worked all day to get this track. The weather helped, of course, but the track crew has definitely been out there, and I believe the sand helped as well.
At 8 o'clock this morning, we had, say that 5.69 inches of rain that had fallen since it started raining on Monday. 5.69 inches of rain. That's a lot of rain for this place to absorb. For any place to absorb. Now, I just got the word from the producer. He misunderstood him. He said the white flag was going out next lap. He misinformed us. He does take credit for that. So we do still have one more lap to go in the Venezuela last lap.
There we go.
Miller has actually gained a second on Swartz in second, so I'm not sure if he's going to be able to close that gap up or not.
Wow, so it is down to 10, up to 10 seconds now. It's a 2:16.4 for Swartz and a 2:7, or for Miller, and a 2:17.2. Again, maybe the folks over there say, wait a minute, at 8-1, he's not much of a threat for the title right now. And there's no sense in pushing the envelope. These are when the biggest mistakes can be the most costly. So right now, it's just a matter of get that bike to the checker flag, take that second place position, your Moto silver, and set yourself up for a national championship.
Rodney, that's the only decision. There's no other choice. I mean, to push and to cross the line, a potential injury, damage the bike, and that type of thing, just not the smartest way to go.
Last lap of racing, Max Miller, Dylan Swartz, Max Volan, the top 3. Chase Kessler is up to the number 4 spot as Braden Bruce rounds out your top 5. The 81 Shane Gola is 6th. Joshua Varese up from 10th to 7th now. In 8th place, Brandon Walther, the 68 machine. 9th place, Carter Bees, the 43. In 10th place is Michael LaCour aboard the 33. Then in 11th, Caden Amorine, Larry Reyes, the number 50 and 12th. We got Nathaniel Thrasher, the 42 and 13th. Chandler Baker, the 11 and 14th. Preston Kilroy, the 80 is 15th. Gage Stein.
Oh, it looks as if Max Miller just had an issue in that turn. I think he had a big enough lead, but that it didn't affect him, but he did stall for a second.
So Maximus Volan having a little bit of issues there. And like you say, a big lead of, well, what was it, about 10, 12 seconds? Actually, 13 and a half seconds over Chase Kessler. So he had a little bit of time to reconcile that as the 64 machine of Max Miller rolls across the finish line. A fist pump into the air. It's an 8-1 for that rider, but several steps forward over what he saw in Moto number 1. And second place here in Moto 2 will be the 74 of Dylan Swartz. He'll be going 1-2, so that will set him up for the lead as far as the championship heading into the third and final Moto. Maximus Volan will finish up in the number 3 spot, about 11 seconds back. So those last couple of laps, we saw a lot of distance starting to open up. And look at the facility. Now, I think the camera, I look outside, it doesn't look that dark really, but the camera is showing that, yes, the sun is down here today, and we are starting to see the day turn in tonight, and Loretta Lynn's race day number 3 coming to a close here, and day number 4 of your Loretta Lynn experience. Check out everybody out there in the Thor Beach and the Thor Pond taking a swim and a dip out there at the day's end. So, you know, the atmosphere is still light heading into the nighttime, and good times are going to be had by one and all around here.
Well, I know one thing, Rodney, when we stop and reflect on the last few days here, the 35th running of the Rocky Mountain ATV MC Amateur National Motocross Championships at Loretta Lynn's, when we stop and look and we look back at the racing itself, we look back at the facility, we look back at the weather, we look back at the crowds, the participation from our sponsors. It's just everything brought to the next level this year was intensified by our weather conditions. And you know what? That only made us better as spectators, as a crew, as racers. And, man, here we are back on track and, you know, almost caught right back up on time.
Almost. But right now we head down to the podium with Kevin Kelly.
Hey, guys, thanks. We've got the number 64. How about it, Mr. Mad Max Miller? Max, great job out there. Finally, I was about to come jerk you out of your trailer and do something different, man. Finally, you get on the podium. Tell me about it.
I've been working towards the podium all week. I've gotten close a few times. My last Super Mini Moto, I was in 3rd place, and I was feeling good. I didn't think I was getting caught, and then in the sand over there, I just came across and tucked the front and endoed and then got up and got 5th. But, I mean, I've just wanted to get on this podium for such a long time, but I'm a little disappointed there's no trophy girl or anything.
Yeah, I'm all you got, so steer clear of that. You don't want nothing to do with this. No trophy girl like Mammoth, they have those there for you. Hey, let's talk about what happened in the mechanics area after you got into the lead. What did you say to your mechanic? You gave him a sign, right?
Yeah, I was pushing for the lead, and I didn't even think I was up there. And then once I got in the lead, I was pretty pumped, and I knew Taylor was going to be pumped. So when I came around the corner out of the mechanics area, once I got going straight, I just threw up the horns. I was so excited.
Pumped. You got that win there. You got that elusive Moto win. You're on the box here. Got a whole host of folks happy to see you. Who would you like to thank for getting you up here?
My mom and dad, my sister Allison, my brother Jack came out here to watch me. I bet they have better things to do right now, so I'm really happy they're here. The whole KTM Orange Brigade team for training us before we came out here, getting me ready. Pro Taper, ODI, Dunlop, Axo, FMF, Scott, Def Family, Bell Helmets. Actually, Bell just gave me a brand new helmet for this race. It's a Jeremy McGrath replica Showtime helmet, so I'm excited about that. All the Nihilo guys, Rad MX, Dunlop, Skull Candy, Ethica, DVS Shoes, Liet, Factory Connection, Lynx Racing Motors, anybody else I forgot. Thank you so much.
All right, that's your cue, Mike Miller. Everybody else, make some noise for Max Miller. Great job there. It is Miller time for sure. It's Miller time for Mike Miller right now. I guarantee you. Pop top, old man Miller. All right, we're going to say hello to our second place finisher, Dylan Schwartz. Where are you at, Dylan Schwartz? Come on up here and see me. Let's get this medal handled. Dylan Schwartz made some passes. We were watching Dylan. He got around Max Volan and got himself into the number 2 spot. Dylan, where are you at in this championship? You got second place here. What did you finish in that first one?
The first one I got first, so I'm going 1-2 right now.
I'm feeling pretty good going to that final moto. You got what it takes to win this thing?
I think so.
Who would you like to thank for getting you up here, Dylan?
Definitely my mom, my dad, Lynx Racing, 7, Garnet, Von Zipper, 6D, FMF, Dunlop, Pro Taper, and just everybody else. Thank you so much.
How about it? Let's hear it for the number 74 KTM ride of Dylan Schwartz. That was a KTM sweep there. He got second place. We're now going to bring up the third place finisher. Come on up here, Mr. Max Volan. Where are you at, man? Max Volan, come on up here. Let's make some noise. Put your hands together for Max Volan, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. Max, great job out there. You had to fight for that one. You got third. Tell me about the moto. Take me through. You didn't lose hope whenever you got past, right?
No, it was a great moto. Got off to a great start, and I was in second, holding Schwartz for a while, and once he passed me, I knew I was good in the points. I have a great chance for winning the title tomorrow, and I just made sure I didn't crash after all the tough luck I've had this weekend. But, yeah, great moto.
Awesome job, man. So you're in the hunt. That's all that matters. We're still in it going into that third moto.
Yeah, definitely.
Who do you want to thank, buddy?
Oh, yeah, I'd love to thank my dad, Grandpa, my mechanic, TJ, Dunlap, FMF, KTM, Orange Brigade, Red Bull, Troy Lee Designs, Nilo Concepts, Scott Goggles, John Moore, and everyone else. Thank you.
Let's hear it one more time for Mr. Max Volan, a KTM sweep of that 85cc class. And now we will move the number 64 machine off of the podium, and we'll bring up Kimball Jett. He is our Whole Shot Award winner, the Bell Helmets Whole Shot Award winner, Mr. Kimball Jett. He's pumped. He wants to leave it up there all week. Sure, why not? Kimball Jett, got that red hair, man. That's good luck. That means you're going to be a great motocrosser, period. Come on up here. The number 94 machine are right here. Got the bike coming. If you can make it, that's pretty slick. Grab that bike here. Hold it for your pops there, then he'll get up here and throw it up on that stand. Yeah, you can do it. As soon as we get out here, you guys can take the family photo here. Kimball Jett, your dad is 7 foot tall, son. You're going to be off these 80s in about 30 minutes. All right, Dad, toss that thing up on the stand here, and then we'll talk about this whole shot Mr. Kimball Jett got. He'll throw that thing up like it's a PW50. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it one more time for Kimball Jett with that whole shot. He's $100 richer. Kimball, let's slide on up here. Got something under the hood here, pretty slick little motor.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, big enough to haul you around. That's awesome, man. How'd you finish up in that moto?
I didn't do very good. I got pretty tired, but it was still good.
How rough is this racetrack?
Rough.
I believe it. What you going to do to cool off, man? You going to go hop in that creek?
Probably so. Pour some water on my head.
Who would you like to thank for getting you up here, Kimball?
My dad, my mom, Jed's Food Mart, Roost MX, X-Brand, Motorsport, Power Band, MSR Racing, Faction Supply, Shades of Gray, and anybody else I forgot. Thank you.
Hey, buddy, it's all good, bud. Whole Shot Award winner goes to Kimball Jett. Nice work, and that'll do it from the podium. Racing is done for the day. Got some stuff going on tonight. I know that I just spoke with the folks at Moto Playground. 8:15 tonight. They've got the Sidewinder going down. They're going to light that thing up. They got the Sidewinder, if you guys remember that from the Mini O's.